Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode,
just one regular day of Chelsea football. That's all I ask for. Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod, and I am your host Mike, and I'm joined in this virtual room roaring with lions. I have got Berth, I've got Chris, the OG3 Monday show on a Monday, regular schedule viewing. Team, what were your moments of the first weekend of 26?
Well, I said I was going to have a quiet one, so naturally I did loads of stuff. Went to
I love a liar.
Went to cinema with my girlfriend, then went bowling, then went for food, and it was really nice. So,
did you win? Did you? We got a thing. You won.
I'm very good at bowling. And
wow!
The last time me and my girlfriend went, I actually was pretty shambolic. I was quite drunk. This time round, I wasn't, and I got 113. Now she won't like me saying this, but she won't like me saying this, but she only got 30.
Wow!
So,
to be fair. Look, I am not even going to get involved here because we all know when my girlfriend and I go bowling, she smashes me every time. I get absolutely destroyed, wrecked.
What about bowling?
Well, that too. Oh, no. Chris, save us. What's going? What was your weekend like?
Yeah, pretty good. Saturday team, first game back, won. It was very cold. Had to sweep the lines of the pitch so you could see them from under this like dusting of snow that we had. But yeah, played 1-2-1. So still top of the league, still unbeaten. Happy days.
Nice. I do have a football highlight. I'll park it for a minute because I just want to say I want to give a genuine shout out to some of the Discord crew because they genuinely, some of them, reached out after the last show and just they mentioned how much. Obviously, that I mentioned on the show that I struggle with January and February and how low that can make me feel. And you know what? The messages meant a lot. I appreciated it. I wanted to give a shout out to those people. And you know what? There are positives to 26 because this weekend, well, bloody hell, Sunday, 4th of Jan. Wow, what a day. What a day. Look, I woke up next to my girlfriend. That's a positive. The Seattle Seahawks beat the Niners and locked up the number one seed in the playoffs. And then to top it off, I passed my MS 900 exam. All in all, it was a good Sunday. Thank you. It was a great Sunday. And what was my football highlight? It wasn't until a few hours ago, which someone had sent me over on Instagram. Ruben Amorim, after he'd been fired, just casually on a stroll as the paparazzi saw him, and he was all smiles, giving a good old dap with them. I absolutely loved it because he could not give a fucking shit, could he?
To be fair, though, if he just got paid £10 million, I think you'd be happy.
Yeah, mate, if someone's giving me 10 million and to never come back, I'm like, yeah.
Imagine being given £10 million to never go to Man United.
That is, I tell you what, it's amazing what leaving Manchester United does to someone. You just sort of like, this is amazing. I love life. Wow. And the 10 million tax free as well. Fair play. You know, he looked at, he saw Maresca and thought, you know what, I can do with that money. I'm gonna keep the money, mate. Oh, I love it. Oh, brilliant. Oh, Shevva shoutouts. What, before we dive into the news, let's have a look. We've got Jay put on a comment on earlier in the season that Maresca would be gone by Christmas. It seems I was only a week out. On a human level, we'll hate Clear Lake if they appoint Rosignol and potentially ruin early a promising career. Oh. Apparently, that is how you say his name. I heard that on a podcast. I heard it on the Guardian Football Weekly, actually.
I've heard so many different ways of saying his name over the course of the last 2 days. It's like every single person you listen to says it differently.
Well, Ollie did warn us when he did that Rosignol, and we all mocked him. Well, I mocked him, and it seems that I was in fact wrong. So, Ollie, I apologise.
I'm still going to call him Racine, yeah.
Yeah, so am I, because that's what everyone called him when he played for his entire career. You mean? Yeah.
I was going to call
He
him the
spent
P.
some time in France, and now he's the senior.
I was going to call him the PE teacher because I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed. Okay, I'm really annoyed.
Honestly,
by this.
No.
The listeners might not know this, but the Maresca situation has completely broken Mikey. I will alert you all back to when we did the whole who would you get stuck on a desert island with, and I didn't pick you because you was too positive. I reckon we'd get on all right now.
Yeah.
You know what's even more crazy than that is that over the past week or so, me and Chris have agreed on everything.
Yeah, we have.
Literally everything.
We've become best friends over the last couple of weeks.
It's like stepbrothers. This is like, did we just become best friends?
Yeah,
it was disturbing to see that. I've got to sort that out. John, who's listening to the pod, was genuinely a breath of fresh air from the insane Maresca glazing I've been seeing online. Saw someone call him a generational manager. Not really sure about what he did to that time. Who said that? I need to see this shit.
I've seen that a lot. I've seen someone putting him up there with Ancelotti and Mourinho.
Yeah, but those are generational.
Yeah, so Maresca.
You can't give that title out.
Which is why you shouldn't be in that conversation.
No, you can't be giving out that title to just anybody. Let's chill.
I mean, he does live in a generation, so
that is true. Aaron, you can round us off with not sure why there is continual mention of getting Cole Palmer back to previous levels. He's been out for months and has just come back a couple of games ago. He won us the Conference League final, Club World Cup final, finished top 10 Ballon d'Or last season. His first season, he carried the whole team on his own. You shouldn't expect that every season. Well, you did set a standard though.
I just don't think he's fit. I just still don't think he's fit. I think something's niggling him. And I just don't think that he's back to 100% fitness, and that's why he's not hitting the heights that he has done, in my opinion.
No, and I think we're talking about getting him back to his best, not because of this season.
Yeah.
But he was shit for 2025, the year.
Yeah.
Aside from moments in games like the last 15 minutes of the Conference League final and the Club World Cup final, he had a really poor year by his standards.
True. Oh, you know what? Thank you for your reviews, comments, and support. Look, we do. I say it every time because it needs to be said. Genuinely appreciate every single one. And of course, get over to Spotify, drop a comment on the episode, and maybe we'll give it a read out on the next one. And of course, I'm going to keep plugging it because it keeps working. So I've got to keep doing it. Milk that cow. While you're here, if you haven't already joined our Discord, the invite link is in the episode description. It is an insanely brilliant community. And look, they checked in on me when I was not 100%. So it's a great community, and they'll check in and look after you as well. So growing every single day. Check the description, click the link. You won't regret it. A quick shout out to our partners Head in the Game, who have some brilliant upcoming sessions starting in January of the new year 2026. They are running multiple completely free programs focused on combining physical activity with mental well-being, all in that supportive, no pressure environment that you know and trust. First up, it's their 12-week men's mental fitness football program. It's a mixed ability space where the scoreline doesn't matter, but the conversation does. It's open to men aged 18 or over, completely free, and a great way to build a healthy routine for the new year. That's starting on Monday, the 19th of January, 2026. It's at 8 p.m. at Hurstmere School, 3G in Sidcup. And they're also running free flexible football with mental health support at Lee Academy 3G in Erith. Whether you want to just talk or just play, you'll find a very welcoming group of lads and a very, very great atmosphere. That beginning on Thursday, the 15th of January, 2026. And it's at 7:30, so no pressure, there's no cost, just football and support every week. What more could you ask for? And finally, for anyone aged 50 or over, maybe your dad, your granddad, your nan, your mum, Head in the Game are launching a fantastic new Yoga for Living Well program. These sessions are gentle, social, and designed to help you get active, meet new people, and just boost your well-being. They run every Thursday at 11:15 a.m, starting the 15th of January at the Bradbury Centre on Reculver Road in Herne Bay. So, for full details and to get involved, head over to headinthegame.co.uk. News. Well, we'll go for one story from the women's team, one from the men's team. The women's team on the Charcuterie Board of News, well, women's forward Maika Hamano will spend the rest of the season on loan at Spurs. They are currently 5th in the WSL. This is a story I saw sprout up as a rumour back in early December, and I genuinely thought nothing of it. I thought it's just a rumour. The cold, hard frosts of December will kill it off. Well, I woke up on the 4th of Jan that sprout is now a full-blown forest. So confirmed, and I'm in shock. I know the Chelsea-Spurs rivalry is not as intense on the women's side, I don't think, as the men's. That's not really my issue. My issue is she's top class, and I feel like losing her when we still haven't got Ramirez back from injury, and the fact that, being blunt, our forwards outside of Sam Kerr have not been scoring. I don't understand it, Chris. Do you understand it?
Yes and no. I don't understand why she hasn't been playing more, but I also understand it from the point of view of, if Sonia isn't going to play her, then it is better for her to go on loan and get game time, because she needs to be playing. So I understand it from that side. I don't understand why Sonia wouldn't want her around and be playing her more, but she hasn't done all the first half of the season. So I don't know why that would change in the second half. So I do think it's probably better for her to go out on loan. I don't necessarily agree that she shouldn't be playing in our team, but I agree with the loan, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, she's only played one full 90-minute game this season, and that was very early on when we played Man City on basically the first game of the season, where she scored.
Yeah.
So, and she's been in and out the team, cameo appearances here and there. I'm just sad because, like, I really like her, and she's a great character in the team as well. You always see her in the socials, and the fact that the players love her, and it is a shame. And Spurs are. It's just so weird because the rivalry is very different. It's still there. It's just not as intense, I don't think. But Berth, what do you think? What do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with Chris, really. You can see it from both sides. I'd have liked to see her get more chances, but at the end of the day, if she's not playing, I think she's more than good enough to sort of lead the line to somewhere else. So I hope she does well there, even though it is Spurs, and that's a bit... Yeah, but I think she will do well. And it does leave us a bit thin on the ground, but I think more than good enough to sort of cope. So she's not irreplaceable. But wait and see what happens, and hopefully she sort of keeps her value to the club when she comes back.
Yeah, and she's got a fellow countrywoman over there with Toko Koga, so it's not like she's going to be the only Japanese player on the team. And yeah, it's just it is what it is. I mean, all the best to her. Hopefully she, pulls up trees and does really well over there. So the men's team, now this is I was going to give it a nothing until the Guardian reported it. Now the Guardian seem to be they're more reliable than other sources. Chelsea are plotting a massive 135 million move for Vini Jr. I had to bring it up because the fact that it's in the Guardian, so it's not like a shit source.
I'm really glad you've brought this up, by the way.
I don't see it happening, but I also wouldn't say no. I just don't understand it.
So here's what I found hilarious about this story.
Go on.
I saw this. Now, rewind 24 hours maybe before this story started. All of the Chelsea social media was filled with, we need to sign more experienced players. We need to sign some top class players who can come into the team and make a big difference now. Everyone agrees with that. And then we got linked with Vini Jr. and you click on the thing and you read the comments and it's all, no, we don't need a player like him in our team. No, we don't need egos. We don't need someone who's going to demand real high wages. Well, you can't get what you want then. You can't say, on one hand, I want top class players who can come in and make a difference now. And then on the other hand, go, I don't want any egos or big money though. Well, it's one or the other. You can't have both.
You know what, Chris, as well? These are the same people that didn't want Maresca, that wanted Maresca out, and then when he got sacked, they was like, I didn't want him out.
Yeah,
you can't please everyone, and it's really frustrating. And I'm not being funny. If we got Vinny Jr., I think everyone would be like, that's unbelievable. That was a great sign. That's an unbelievable signing.
Yeah, but we already have Modric.
It's the same fans, though, isn't it, who didn't want Victor Osimhen because he had a bad attitude and was going to cost too much. So wanted Liam Delap instead. And now we're saying, I hate Liam Delap. We should have got Victor Osimhen. Well, you said don't bother.
Yeah. I mean, it's still Reece James and Raheem Sterling as our highest earners, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, we're not going to get him because there's no way Vinny Jr. accepts our wage structure of here's your baseline and the rest is based on bonuses and or incentives, and you might get a pay increase every year.
Wow.
No,
every year.
There's no way that he accepts those terms. There's no way he's coming to us. So keep dreaming. But it's nice to be linked because it shows that the recruitment policy is there unless an opportunity arises.
I still
outside of the structure that we want.
I think what annoys me the most is when I look back at signings we missed out on for whatever reason, like Michael Elise. Fuck's sake! I mean, that alone, Michael Elise could easily become one of the best attacking wide forwards in European football.
However,
but you don't know. You don't know, do you? You just don't know.
And bear in mind, Michael Elise's numbers in the Premier League wasn't outstanding. They are in the Bundesliga, but as we know all too well, it does not translate. So,
what I will say is he did play for Palace in the Prem, and he was still miles ahead of that.
Oh yeah, still a really, really good player. But all I'm saying, I don't think he would have come to any other Premier League team. I don't think he would have stayed in this league and hit the numbers that he's hit at Bayern.
I don't
because
know.
The Bundesliga's worse.
I think Michael Elise. I think Creamer was always at the top, and I think you look at someone like Harry Kane, Haaland. I think Elise's in that bracket where they could do it in any league and do it at the top level and be one of the best players in the league. I do generally think that about Michael Elise.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It won't happen, listener. But let's just entertain it and say that get your shirts ordered because he's coming to the bridge for next summer. I'd get your shirts ordered. I suppose now we get to head to winners and losers. So, well, we had no idea what was going to happen, did we? Because we headed up north to take on Manchester City.
It's Malo Gusto, Liam Delap, and poked in by Enzo Fernandez at the last. A Chelsea steal at Pep's expense.
You can't say they haven't deserved it in the second half. They've threatened, and this is a big goal for Chelsea and a big goal for Arsenal.
Thanks, Gary, for making it about Arsenal. Manchester City 1, Chelsea 1. That was not on our bingo cards, if we're honest. Winners and losers. Who have you got? How many have you got?
I've got 4 and 2.
Wow, nice.
I've got 5 and 4.
Wow, I feel like a twat. I've got 2 and 3, and now I must admit, there's a player I missed off today that I really feel guilty about. So I'm hoping you picked him.
You only found 2 winners in that. See what I mean? Mikey's
you found 2 winners, Mikey. You are joking, aren't you?
No, I look. There's probably 3. There's probably 3 there. No. Missed him off.
There should definitely be 3 minimum.
Oh yeah. Well, look, there is a player on here that I haven't picked, who I did feel in hindsight I should have picked him.
So negative. No.
Look. If one of you pick them, I will then be able to say, yes, that was my choice. So, my first player. I've got Reece James because
he's on mine.
Oh my word! What more is there left to say about our captain? So we move on. No, he was outstanding. He's just a proper Chelsea player. He's a genuine leader as well, and the numbers are backing it up from the game. I mean, he had 60 touches, not quite a stat drop, but 37 of 44 passes completed, 1 possession 7 times, won 5 duels, had 4 passes into the final third, intercepted the ball twice, made 2 successful tackles, and cleared 1 ball. I think it weren't even that. I honestly, the eyesight test is like, yeah, he did really well, didn't he? Stats say it. I don't care about that for what I must admit. The moment that summed him up for me wasn't the stat line. It was the final whistle, because he took Calum McFarlane straight over to the away end and made sure that he got his applause. And he even helped get the fans singing his name. So that's amazing. I loved it. It was leadership. It was culture, and it was class, because McFarlane was thrown into it was a shit situation he was thrown into. And yeah, he deserved the praise as well. And Reece making sure that the right man got the applause as well. I loved it. Why was Reece a winner for you, Berth?
Not only that, I mean, that what he did in McFarlane at the end, I think is absolutely sensational. And from a fan perspective, a player perspective, that is an unbelievable gesture from a captain. But there's not only that moment, it was the moment where he helped carry Gvardiol off, which I thought there's not many players in the league that would do that. And I think Reece James needs massive credit for that as well, because I didn't see any other Man City players helping him off. So I think that's also a big credit to Reece James. But actually on the pitch as a football player, he is unbelievable. I think we've all said in the past that centre mid isn't his position. He's unbelievable in centre mid. He's an unbelievable footballer. And I said it in the group chat, I genuinely think he's probably top 3 footballers in the league on his day. Just incredible, motivated the team, led by example. There's a period in the first half, he must have made about 3 interceptions in the space of 30 seconds. Sensational. And he got booked as well. And he was timing his tackles, his passing was class, he was switching the play. He was on it from minute 1. And he played exactly like he did against Arsenal. And in these big moments and big games, you look for your captain. And Reece James has delivered every single big game this season. I think against Liverpool as well, he had to play at centre back at one point, and is phenomenal there. Reece James is slowly becoming the captain we all wanted him to be. And as far as captains go, I'm sure the past couple of years you all doubted that. Should he be captain? Should he not be captain? He 100% should be. When he's fit, that there's no doubt about it. He's the best leader we've got. And he was just absolute 10 out of 10 performance from him yesterday.
Chris, he was on your list, I'm sure.
He wasn't, because I already had 5. And I knew you lot would.
What are you doing?
I wanted to give credit to some other players who don't normally get it. But Reece James yesterday was unbelievable. Like, one of the best... Given the circumstances and everything around the game, one of the best Chelsea captain performances we've seen in a long time.
Agreed.
I think putting Reece James in centre midfield is the one thing that Maresca did that I criticised at the time, that now I think he was right about. I think he is actually phenomenal in there. I think he's outplayed Declan Rice and Rodri in their position this season. And he doesn't normally play there.
That's a fact as well, by the way, though. He's played against them both now. And both times he's been the best player on the pitch. So I don't think that's controversial.
I don't mean over the course of the season. I mean,
no, of course not.
When they go up against each other. Yeah. Everything, like the moment with McFarlane at the end, everything about him on the day just screamed captain. And I think this season he's really developed in that, because there was a few times last season where it seemed as though he had the armband but wasn't really a leader. I think he's really took that on this season and grew. And I think it might be down to the fact that he's playing more often now and he feels fitter and more confident, so can take on that leadership role, whereas before he was still coming in and out the team. And it's probably hard to feel like a captain when you're not playing every week. But now he's fit and playing. He can be a leader, and we've seen that all season. I agree with Berth. I think Reece James, not as a right back, not as a centre midfielder, but as a footballer, is one of the top players in the world.
Wow, I wouldn't disagree. No, who was one of your winners though?
Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah, he was also on mine. Yeah,
that was my third, who I felt really guilty of not including. Yeah, you're right. You are right.
Absolutely outstanding. Except for, I think, a 15-minute spell in the second half where him and Pedro Neto on that left-hand side just kept passing the ball out of play. He was unbelievable. Covered the ground. Again, it was the vice-captain acting like a captain on the day when the team needed him to. Covered the ground, was making tackles, was really aggressive as well, and showed like a real passion. Even in the first half, there was one tackle out on the left-hand side that he went in for, and he was going to win it, and it was one of them that, like, it was an 80-20 in his favour, but he went in and he absolutely smashed it into the crowd, and you thought, he's up for this today. And obviously got the goal at the end, did his best to miss it, but put it in at the end. And then jumping into the crowd, and it's just creating those sort of moments, create the connection between the fans and the players that I think we've been missing for a while.
Go, Berth, go on.
Yeah, I thought he was fantastic. I thought him, Reece James, and another player I'm going to mention in a minute, were the best players for us yesterday. I thought he always looked to make things happen. Never start from start to finish. Won all of his duels pretty much. I think there's a couple of tackles as well he celebrated, which always gets the fans going.
Yeah.
And again, he's another player which has that big moment, Gene. There's a couple of times this season where he's had it. And
last season.
And last season, to be fair, I think he's almost underrated from a lot of other teams' fan bases.
He scored the equaliser in the Conference League final, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did. And I think he's actually been very good for us for a very long time now. And to score that goal, by the way, but Rumours made probably the save of the season, stopping his first effort.
Yeah.
But he put it in the back of the net to jump in the fans is crazy. I mean, that is mental to do. But Chris is right. It just has that connect between fans now. And as a vice captain, that's what you want. And I think him, Reece James, we've got a few players, Caicedo, Cucurella, the passionate, and fans warm to that. I think if they see it on the pitch, I don't think it matters who's in charge. As long as they see that passion on the pitch, the fans will always be up and will always back the team. And that's what we need at this moment in time, especially yesterday when the club's in turmoil behind the scenes. You need your leaders, you need your players to turn up and give the fans something to cheer about. And Enzo Fernandez, Reece James, they both gave that to the fans yesterday, and credit to them.
Yeah, he's a very, very talented, passionate player, and he also could have pulled off the assist of the season if it wasn't for Pedro Neto deciding to get a field goal in.
Yeah.
Fuck you know.
Well, yeah, it's that was very much it was very much one of them. I'm sure we've all got the same. I'm going to go with my second and technically third winner because Enzo. I've got Calum McFarlane.
He's on mine.
I didn't put him in because I knew someone else would, but I think someone had to put him in because he was phenomenal. Carried himself brilliantly. The
stats are Chelsea's under-21 manager, away at the Etihad, no Caicedo, no Fofana, no Cucurella, no Sanchez. Realistically, no hope, very little expectation. And yet we come back to London with a point. And I think that is phenomenal. I do not think that it's just a point. No. Look at what he was given. This was a free hit for him. He was thrown straight into the deep end against arguably the best team in England over the last decade. And he didn't survive. He didn't just survive it. He did swim. Massive credit to him. We looked really bad. First half, okay. Second half, we looked so much better, despite what Pep Guardiola wants to tell you. Don't let him glaze over the fact that we were better in the second half. And look, he's a brilliant person. It was a brilliant showing from McFarlane and easily one of the most unexpected winners we've had all season. Absolutely never on my bingo card to be putting the under-21 manager down.
I think what was not so good, and like I said, I didn't have him on my winners list because I know you two would, but I think what was so amazing to see is that not only did he play players in the position they should, i.e. Gusto as an actual right back, but the changes he made at half-time were brilliant, and you would not have seen them under Maresca. Maresca would not have brought on Andres Santos. And he got the players playing for him, which is something you didn't think would happen, to be fair. You thought it was going to be... And even in the first half, we didn't play badly in the first half. I actually thought defensively was okay. It could have been 2-0, but I thought defensively the shape was brilliant. It was just going forward, we lacked a bit, but he saw it at half-time, changed it, got a draw. What more could you ask away at the Etihad?
Chris, why was he a winner?
All of the stuff you said, but I think he deserves massive credit from a coaching point of view.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about how he carried himself and, all of that stuff. But no, look at the game. And the game plan, quite evidently in the first half, was sit in, soak up pressure, and get to half-time and see what the score is. It's clear that that's what the game plan was. I think first 15 minutes, we started okay, actually, and we had a couple of moments in the final third where we didn't quite get the last pass right, but we had a threat. And then after about 15 minutes, it died, and we spent half an hour basically just defending. But at half time, at 1-0 down, it would have been so easy for him in that position to just keep it the same, get out with the 1 or 2-0 and go home. But he made conscious changes and a change in approach to try and get something out of the game that he didn't have to do. He was under no pressure to get anything from this game. No one had any expectation of us getting anything there. But he did it, and he changed the shape, he changed the personnel, he changed the approach, and second half, City did next to nothing. And we should have scored more than the one goal that we did. And I think he deserves massive credit for that from a coaching point of view. There's a Chelsea influencer on TikTok. I'm not going to name him, but he was at the game, by the way. And his reflection on the game was, we somehow spammed a 1-1. Don't know. This was his exact quote. Don't know how we've got out of there with a draw. Fair play to McFarlane. Didn't really see any coaching from him, but he's managed to come away with a draw. And I thought, well, I don't know what you watched, but it weren't what the rest of the world was watching, mate. Because his change of approach and tactical changes at half time is the reason why we got the draw.
At the end of the day, the only influencers people should be listening to is us. All four of us. That's it. No one. You don't need to listen to other opinions. Don't need those. Just us. Just ours. Berth, what was one of your who was one of your winners?
My third one was Malo Gusto. Thought he was.
Yeah, he's on mine as well.
Thought he was exceptional, to be honest with you. And it's amazing what Malo Gusto can do as just an out and out right back, overlapping down that right flank, not inverting, not as a number 10, just an out and out right back. Thought he was defensively brilliant as well. Don't think he gave ball away. Didn't make any stupid challenges. His ball in the last minute of the game for Enzo Fernandez's goal is fantastic, by the way. I know it takes a nick off Nathan Ake, but I thought,
area.
Yeah, it's a great area. It's a dangerous ball. If you're a coach like Chris is, and you've got a winger or a fullback, put it in that channel, put it in that area where the defender has to do something, and he that's all from his cross, all from him just running down that right flank. None of this.
Bit of skill to beat the player as well, by the way.
Yeah. To be fair, it was, and that's what you want from Gusto. That's what he's good at. That's why when he first came in, he was so good, and people thought he was brilliant. That's what he's got in his locker. And I thought, he was brilliant yesterday, and he really caused problems for Man City's left-hand side, so he had to be a winner for me.
Chris, give me another winner.
Liam Delap.
He was my fourth winner.
Best game he's had for us.
Yeah.
Had an impact. He's got to cut out the stupidity with the yellow cards, though. I think sometimes he's trying a little bit too hard to show that he's passionate and up for a fight. I just think he almost puts that on a little bit too much, and he's getting yellow cards that are unnecessary. But in terms of his all-round game, thought he was very good. Thought he caused City centre-backs problems. Yeah. He gave us a platform to play off. He ran the channels, made good movements, had good use of the ball. Thought he was... I think the shot he had where Enzo rolled the ball into him and he rolled the defender and had the shot, I think if it doesn't take a deflection, it goes in. Yeah, the deflection helped the keeper because Liam Delap's shot is low and I think would go through Donnarumma's legs, but the deflection took it up to his chest, so it hit him. So again, it was another case of McFarlane. What he did yesterday was he really simplified the game down to what is the strengths of the players I've got and how can we play that shows the strengths of the players that I've got, rather than them trying to fit into a system. How do I get the best out of the players that I've got available? And Liam Delap was one that thrived from that because that's what he was at Ipswich. He was a transitional striker who ran channels, played up against centre halves, had the ball fed into him where with spacing behind him where he can roll and run. And that's what we did. And that's why you've seen a better version of him. Football's a real simple game. And it boils down to the fact that this is why it's so weird, because we have to judge players based on their performances. And we have done with Delap, and rightly so. He's been poor. Same with someone like Jamie Gittins. but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a poor player until they've been poor under numerous managers. I think if you've got a player who's poor under numerous managers, eventually you just have to go, yeah, he's just not very good. But maybe sometimes it's just they're not playing under the right person. Because we've seen a completely different Liam Delap yesterday to what we ever seen under Enzo Maresca in any of his
100%.
appearances. And that's not just down to Maresca. That's not another slag off of Maresca. It's just, I don't think they were suited to each other. And, you know, it might happen again when Rosenior comes in. He might not suit the way that he plays, and we might see Liam Delap go back shit again, or you might see a better version. This is why I'm saying when a new manager comes in, you don't know how it's going to go, because it might just be, although that manager in people's eyes maybe isn't as good as the one he's replacing, he might be better for the players you've got rather than in terms of as a coach. It's all about whether the coach suits the players and the players suit the coach.
100%.
I think that's very fair, really. Right, how many winners have we got left on the table?
I just had Liam Delap. Liam Delap was my last one.
I've got one left.
One left. Okie dokie, Chris.
I've got Andre Santos.
Yeah, that is a great one.
Nice shout.
Best performance in a Chelsea shirt, I think, that we've seen from him.
Better than Burnley, you think?
Yeah. Again, because it's a harder game.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And also, he came on and there was a noticeable increase in team performance when he came on. I think he made some really crucial tackles and interceptions as well in the second half.
I'll tell you what as well, he was actually very calm because he picked the ball up a lot in deep positions. I think there was a passage of play when he was actually in Man City's box and he played a pass that cut two players out and he was on the counter.
I remember that. Unbelievable pass. Yeah. I think overall, like, just a really impressive performance, and another one who I think will get a new lease of life now, because for whatever reason, Maresca obviously didn't fancy him, because that's why we've barely seen him. And we know how good he could be because of what we've seen at Strasbourg and what we've seen for the Brazil national team. We was all really excited about him, and then we've barely seen him. But yesterday showed that he can be a player, as did the Burnley game. I mean, look how well he played against Burnley. Everyone said how good he was against Burnley. Then we didn't see him again. And it was a really weird situation. He's another player that I think, if the new manager can get him involved and playing, that's going to be like a new signing.
Oh, I'll tell you what as well. Interesting point. No one's mentioned. Who was Andre Santos' manager last season?
Liam Rosenior.
And who has managed Liam Delap before for Hull?
Liam Rosenior.
There we go. Could be interesting.
We wait and see. And as there's winners, there's always losers. And for 2026, I am here to just piss everyone off, because I'm pretty sure all three of mine will annoy someone. Maybe not the third one. I will go with the first one, and it's Cole Palmer. Because
he's on mine.
I'm glad that we agree on this, Chris. It's a nice sharing this year. We've got our first agreement, because look, it was another game where he didn't really impose himself. And look, I get what fans are saying, but I'd argue he hasn't had a genuinely good performance since the Club World Cup final. And yes, there's the groin issue, and I do understand that. But we judge Palmer by elite standards because he is elite. And at times, okay, so let's just say there is a bit of an issue with the groin. Fair enough. However, he looked unbothered at times, like, and not in a calm, relaxed way, like, oh, look at him, casual, just, gliding through the game. He looked like, I just can't be bothered. I really can't be bothered. And this team needs him to be a difference maker. And right now he's not. I want Cole Palmer back, who is carefree, but still cares. Chris, he was a loser for you, but why?
I think second half he improved. I do think he was better in the second half and did play some pretty nice passes and that in the second half. First half, my main problem with him is it felt a little bit like he was trying to show off. There was one moment where he got the balls sort of in the right back position, and we'd just been defending for a good few minutes, and then we managed to get out, and we got the ball to Palmer on the right-hand side, and he tried to nutmeg O'Reilly and just lost the ball. And you thought, what are you doing? That's not the time for that when we've just been penned in the box. We finally got the ball to you, and you've tried a nutmeg. Why?
Yeah.
It was a player against his old club again, like he was trying to prove a point. But just play, mate. Like we haven't got anything to prove to City anymore. You've done that already by being successful with us anyway. So forget about that. I thought, he was a little bit showboaty and a little bit arrogant, I thought, in the first half. And second half, I think he simplified it a lot more. And second half, I do think he was better. But if whoever comes in next, if he doesn't perform under them, I do think then we've got to start looking at him as an individual and say, maybe you're just not doing enough now. Like, I was critical of Maresca for not getting the best out of Palmer, but if the next manager comes in and they don't either, eventually you've got to turn on the player and say, well, you need to be doing more now because this isn't good enough. And it's a case of, did he start to believe too much of his own hype that he stopped trying now? That would be my concern. Or he's lacking confidence because he's coming off the back of a poor year. And then he's had the injury and he's not completely fully fit. And all of that has snowballed into confidence issues. So hopefully he'll come back. But at the moment, he's not doing anywhere near enough.
Berth, who was one of your losers?
Josh Hutchinson.
Oh.
In fairness, he's not on mine, but he should have been.
I love Josh. I do love Josh.
Yeah.
I think he's wicked, but
awful, isn't he?
Past couple of games, he's played right back, left back. I think his best position is centre back. I don't think we should be playing him on the left or right. I think there was too many times where he was out of position, but he tried too much with the ball. I think there's too many times he's good at carrying the ball, but time and the place to do it. And I think he still needs to be careful with that. I think at centre back he looks a lot more comfortable on the ball and he doesn't go for those runs as much. And he tries to pass it a bit more and tries to play out a bit more instead of being a bit more direct. But yeah, I thought he looked a bit not out of his depth, because I know he's more than good enough to play against City because he played brilliant against Liverpool earlier on the season. But I think he just looked a bit lost and a bit sort of out of his depth in a way. And I just thought he was quite poor, which is harsh maybe, but he wasn't great. And I think he's more than good enough to be criticised. And he's, if he's playing in a team, you kind of have to do this thing every week. So he's on the losers list, unfortunately.
Yeah, the thing is for me with Josh was, I actually thought he defended really well.
Yeah, he did. No, he did defend well, but again,
the ball, he was so bad, and it was like he was another one where it was like you're doing too much. Once you've give the ball away a few times, just simplify your game and either clear it or just play a short pass. Why, when you've already been dispossessed 3 times, are you trying to dribble up the pitch?
You know what, though? This comes with a very young team. I was thinking to it yesterday in the first half, especially. I think there was too many times where a lot of our players would try. So I know you mentioned about Cole Palmer trying to nutmeg on Rodri or whatever it was, but he weren't the only person to do it. Josh was trying to do it. Paddy Shield tried to do it. Enzo's trying to do it. Neto's trying to do it. It was just all over the pitch in the first half. Our footballing IQ was not great, and against a team like Man City at the Etihad, you can't do that. You just cannot, because the ball kept coming back and coming back and coming back, and we couldn't live with it. So we just had to. I think all round in the second half we simplified it a lot more. But yeah, Josh defended. He did defend well. But on the ball, I thought he was poor and he was out of position a lot because of it.
Yeah, his tackle on Haaland after he'd give the ball away was unbelievably good.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have had to be put in that position.
No, he shouldn't have done, because I mean, I don't know what he was trying to do on that, to be honest. But that's what I mean. I think his defending was really good, but just on the ball, just absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
Chris, who's your second loser?
Pedro Neto.
He's my second. He's my second loser.
Why, Chris?
Me. Firstly, how he played 90 minutes in this game is a crime. Should be on Crime Watch.
Fucking hell.
Because there is absolutely no way Esteval wasn't great in this game. I'll admit that. First half, I don't think he was very good at all. But there is no way he should have come off instead of Neto. Neto was horrendously bad. I don't think Neto did anything right the entire game and didn't look arsed. Looked like, I'm not really bothered, to be honest. So I'm still upset about my daddy leaving. So I'm not happy about this. Everything that he gets praised for, the work rate, the energy, that had gone. So then all he relied on was his quality. Well, he's fucked then because his quality's fucking woeful. So bad on the ball. There was a moment where Enzo Fernandez had the ball on the left and he looked to play the pass to Neto, and Neto was stood off the pitch. How have you gone and stood off the pitch? What is going through your head as a professional footballer that you have stood out of play? Enzo had a right go at him for it as well, and rightly so. And then he could have been on the losers list for that chance alone. How a professional footballer puts that over the bar is unforgivable.
He just went back, didn't he?
Yeah, I have no idea what he was trying to do because the layoff from Enzo is perfect. He's rolled it to him at 2 miles an hour, perfectly along the ground to just stroke into the goal on his left foot. Yeah, and he's put it over the bar.
I'll tell you what his worst thing he did yesterday. He might not have did it yesterday, but his worst thing, shaved his moustache.
Oh, it looks. He looks like a child. He looks like a player that we would sign now.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but when someone shaves, their performances just drop. Maresca did it the other week. He didn't win a game since.
Hey,
the magic of the beard.
It's true. Like, no matter what people say, if you cut the beard or you cut the hair, there's always a problem. Kansas City Chiefs went to the Super Bowl last year. Mahomes gets a haircut, 6-11 this year. They're not in the playoffs. I'm just saying, it's there.
Remember Torres' blonde hair? Didn't have that at Chelsea.
Ah, there we go. Crap. Wasn't the injury?
The biggest one ever, Emmanuel Adebayor. The minute he cut his hair, he went to be a championship player. It was like, where's Adebayor gone?
Oh, talking of strikers, this is where I upset everybody. I've got Liam Delap for a reason.
Why? What?
Well, brilliant.
He's
I
got
love
him
it.
For the petulant yellow card, hasn't he?
And I'm going to read out what I wrote in full. I know some won't like this and I'm going to now defend him. Because when he came on, positive signs. He was much better than João Pedro, no doubt whatsoever. Yeah, there's a player in there, 100%. Once again, though, his temper undid his work. That is why he's a loser. It's just for this moment because 17 minutes on the pitch. We joked in the Discord about it. First 5 minutes, he hasn't been booked. Well, 17 minutes, he picked up a genuinely an avoidable booking after Tangling Kuznov, and he pushes him. I thought at the time he looked like he kicked out. He then decides to square up to half the City team. You just can't. You can't act like Diego Costa when your return is 1 goal in 14. You really can't. You got to focus on scoring goals, not trying to win these pointless fights. They are pointless. Who cares about what the City players are saying? Don't push a player. Just don't get involved. I felt like it almost wiped out the goodwill from the cameo because you think you could get sent off there because we know he's got it in his locker. I saw it against Wolves.
You know what's funny, Marky? You mentioned about Diego Costa. Someone put it on TikTok. To be fair, he said it's all right acting like Diego Costa if you play like Diego Costa, and he hasn't been doing that all season. Yesterday, to be fair to him, he did play like Diego Costa, so I weren't as bothered by the yellow card yesterday, to be honest. I do get your point. It is frustrating. That's why. Yeah, and if he'd got a red from it, we wouldn't have got an equaliser.
It's so easy for a ref to get a card happy and go, well, actually, you pushed him, and then maybe you did kick out, and there was intent red card. We've seen it.
I do agree, and as I said earlier, I think he has got to cut out these ridiculous yellow cards and stop trying so hard to show to the crowd that he cares. I think is what's happening here. I think if he was scoring goals, I don't think he'd be doing it. But at the same time, I don't think it's a yellow card. They're both running off the pitch for the ball. He's given him a little shove. It only looks bad because he smashes into the advertising hoardings.
Possibly, yeah. I see your point there.
I think if he doesn't hit the hoardings, he doesn't get booked. And also in that little melee afterwards, though, how did Bernardo Silva not get booked for grabbing him around the throat?
Yeah, I thought that. Because Nunes got booked, and Nunes didn't really do anything. Nunes just sort of
he didn't do
squared up.
anything. He was just
Like, they had it with camera angle of like Nunes, like squaring up to Enzo Fernandez. I thought he's going to drop a nut or something here. He didn't even do anything. Just look at each other. I thought it was going to kiss.
yeah, madness in it.
Oh dear. Oh, Chris, who's another loser for you?
This might be a bit harsh, but I've got Philip Jorgensen.
That is harsh.
Woo-hoo!
But you know what? That pass to Joao Heto when he first came on is almost unforgivable, to be honest with you.
I can't believe he played. I didn't think
you know
I'd
what?
see him again this season.
I think he made a really good save off the Haaland deflection shot. I can't remember who it hit now. Was it Chalobah?
Yeah.
And he top hand save and just tipped it away. I thought that was a really good save. His distribution, though, fuck me.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I mean, twice he almost got caught dallying on the ball and almost had it nicked off him twice inside the penalty area. The one of them, it's like he genuinely glitched. Like, he just stood there with the ball. And I thought, Haaland's coming. Yeah, he's still... How close do you want him to get before you clear the ball? And then he sort of went to kick it and then didn't kick it. And then Haaland was right on top of him and he just managed to toe it away. And I thought, what is he doing? And then, yeah, the one to Hato. I mean, how Hato hasn't said anything to him there after the next break in play, I don't know. Because he's just got on the pitch and he's clipped it to his throat.
The thing is, as well, Gary Neville at one point said, if I was Joao Hato, I'd be going absolutely crazy, even if he played full 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It just seems like he plays on a 3G. Like, as in, like, he's got 3G bars instead of 4G.
They've turned all the towers off that are 3G, so he's not getting any signal.
There was that point, so I was like, is he on aeroplane mode at the minute? What's going on? Someone switching back on, please. Chris is right. Like, he almost gave away a couple of goals. When you got Haaland there, you can't be doing that around him.
No. It was one of them where it was like he was trying to like exude a calmness and a composure, but you just looked like you didn't know what you was doing. That was the issue. It didn't look calm and composed. It looked worried, is what it looked like. And it just didn't fill me with confidence. And I think you could see why he don't play.
Berth, who's a loser for you?
No, I only had Neto and Josh. So
fair enough. I will go with my third loser because I know there's a lot of people on Discord that would want me to bring it up, so I will. And I have gone Clearlake because a draw at the Etihad cannot distract us from the big picture. And the tree looks nice. It does look nice. But you got to step back and the forest is still on fire. It didn't take us long to hear the chants of Roman Abramovich. We knew that was going to be... That message was loud and clear. It happens, and the away support are the most passionate of fans. You know, they travel everywhere. You know, they're incredible, the away support for us. And I think Roman didn't run Chelsea like a business model. He didn't. He ran it like a football club, just obsessed with winning. It was his fun. It was his toy. It was fun. And you know, we know he was ruthless. He brought in the elite managers, world-class signings. Whether they worked out or they didn't, he still went for that world-class signing. You know, the Shevchenkos, the Lukakus. I know they didn't work out, but the point is still there. And how Clearlake have turned Chelsea into a project. I stand by. I still feel it's a balance sheet exercise, and we have won trophies, 2 of them. The way to those trophies is still up for debate, long into the night for sure. The fear factor and the ambition, though, I feel that the standard that was Roman had set for us, I still feel that's gone. And the squad building's an absolute mess. I feel the identity of what we are as a club is blurred. That's including the whole CFC LDN stuff. The aura, I feel that our fear factor's just vanished. And I don't think one draw changes it. I need to see a lot more. I don't think I'm going to see it, but I need to see so much more change. But I don't think we will.
Can I play devil's advocate here for a minute?
Of course, I'm happy to.
And it's a good platform, and I do want to hear from people their opinion on this. You hear a lot. I've heard a lot over the past week about Clearlake and everyone being unhappy with them, and we've had the protests and all that. But if you were someone who wasn't happy with how we was playing under Enzo Maresca, and you were someone like me who wanted him sacked, how are you so annoyed that he's got sacked? Because I'm not. because I wanted
Yeah.
him sacked. So I agree with what they've done. So I'm not going to slag them off for sacking a manager who I would have also sacked. What I don't understand is, I don't understand how you can agree with the sacking but be annoyed about it at the same time, because it doesn't make any sense to me. I understand what some people's gripes are and about the squad building and about how the club's being run, and I think that's fine that you can have those gripes. However, I don't know why the Enzo Maresca situation was the straw that broke the camel's back, because I don't understand what they've done wrong. Because if reports are to be believed, he walked away. So what do you want them to do? He quit. He resigned. So I don't know what you want the ownership to have done about that. If you were someone who wanted Maresca to stay, he didn't want to. He left. He quit. He didn't even say goodbye to the players, for Christ's sake. He just fucked up.
Which is wrong.
He basically drew with Bournemouth, got in his car, went home and didn't come back again.
He
took his ball and he went home.
If that's true,
what he did.
If he did that, you can't do that. You got, at the end of the day, you are the manager. You have to set a standard. You have to set an example. You have to lead by that example and that standard. And not saying goodbye at the least. That's poor. Very poor.
Yeah. I think. Sorry to put in, Chris, but I think the main gripe is that people don't want Rosenior in, and that's a fact. That I think if someone had said, "Oh, we're getting Tuchel back," no one would be moaning right now. But the fact that people will go, "Well, I'm not watching," or "I'm not going to back him," why? If you love Chelsea and you love this club, which I'm pretty sure 99.9% Chelsea fans do, you'll get some nutters that don't. But if you love this club, you'll back the manager, no matter who he is. What he is, he could come in and be absolutely amazing. He could come in and be absolutely shit. But he could get some world-class manager like a Xavi or a Glasner or Amorim, for instance. And it could be absolutely...
I like him, but yeah.
But he could come in and just be absolutely terrible. Is that Clear Lake's fault then? If he was to sign an amazing manager and then he'd be shit. You can't just always put all the blame on an ownership. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I don't think everything they've done is great. And by any means, no, that they're never having a Abramovich, put it that way. But you can't just rule out a manager before he's come in, before you get him any chance. Fair enough, he could come in and be like Wilfred Nancy at Celtic.
Yeah.
And then fair enough. But you can't just put all the blame on an ownership when the results are poor. The manager clearly didn't want to be there anymore. Pochettino was the same. Like, he didn't want to be there. So why are you blaming? Like, if they don't want to be there, why are you blaming the ownership?
Yeah,
it's not all on them.
That's what I don't get, because the truth with Maresca is, since the Man City links and the Juventus links started, he didn't want to be here anymore.
Which is a very good point to bring up. For me, I always feel that if you sack a manager, it's because you're going to upgrade. I don't believe we are upgrading. And that is the problem. Because
that's fair.
I look at when we sacked Ranieri, we upgraded with the Champions League winner Mourinho. Then obviously Mourinho got sacked. I can't really say Avram Grant was a permanent manager, because I mean he did have a lot of games, but he went. We had Luis Felipe Scolari. That's an upgrade. And then who did we then got?
But he was one.
That's correct. Yeah,
and Avram Grant, who was an absolute nobody before Scolari came in and before he came to Chelsea. Almost won us the league. Fair enough, he didn't. But he also got us the Champions League.
The treble.
Lost on penalties. And did we lose another final or something like that? Or it was close. Anyway, I don't know. But then Di Matteo comes in again, a club legend, but manager-wise, never managed before. Won us the Champions League.
I think our biggest mistake under Roman in managerial hires was Villas-Boas. I think that was definitely the biggest, because even I know this is going to wind some people up, and I don't mean to wind you up. Even Rafa Benitez won us a trophy. He did. He won us a trophy. So
when you look at it, right, and you look at managerial appointments, the truth is, you can appoint someone who on paper looks like a brilliant fit and they can be shit. And then you can appoint someone who looks like they're going to be absolutely god awful and they turn out to be decent, because you don't know how it's going to work. Because like you said, the appointment of AVB at the time didn't seem like a ridiculous thing. He'd done a really good job at Porto. He'd just won the Europa League. He was the second coming of Mourinho. So everyone went, yeah, I can see that. I can see why you would put him in charge. He was absolutely god awful. And then you appoint someone like Avram Grant, and you think, oh my God, who is this? We're going to lose every game under him. And he gets us to a Champions League final. Because again, it's just about, does the manager get the best out of the players? And if he does, it doesn't matter whether he's a big name or not. It's all about, do they get the best out of their best players? And that's really what Avram Grant did. Same with Di Matteo. He just got everybody on board and they all sang from the same hymn sheet, and we went and won the Champions League and the FA Cup. It fell apart the season after, because long term it won't happen, because you do need a good manager eventually. But shorter term, I get it. I understand the whole gripe with the Blue Coat thing about we don't want Rosenior because we want someone proven and experienced and top class to come in and do the job. And we think they don't want to appoint someone like that because they won't do as they're told, which may well be the case. But I don't remember this much hate for the Maresca appointment, who was less experienced than Liam Rosenior is.
We'll wait and see, won't we? I mean, Chris, have you got any losers left?
Just one, and it's only a quick one.
Oh, go ahead.
Wesley Fofana. I've got Wesley Fofana on here because he was given 2 days off. He went to France skiing and then got ill and missed a game when the team needed him the most. Why the fuck are you pissing off to France at this time when all of this is going on and you fucked off to France? Also, someone might correct me if I'm wrong on this. I didn't think footballers was allowed to ski.
Oh, I
because
don't know.
Nicholas Bentner, I remember there's a very famous interview with Nicholas Bentner where he brought up the fact that he's not allowed to go skiing because it's classed as an extremely high risk activity.
Yeah.
When you are a footballer insured to play football. And if you go skiing and break your leg, I've got to pay you. But you haven't done that here. You've done it fuck-arsing about in France.
Do you remember 3 years ago when Manuel Neuer broke his leg on a ski trip?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, when you're someone as injury prone as Wesley Fofana, should you be fucking about skiing? No.
Probably.
You
No.
shouldn't.
No.
Should have stayed at home with your feet up watching a Netflix show.
But he shouldn't be driving either, but he still does that.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair. Well done,
Wow.
Beth. Well done.
That is spot on. Oh, what is also spot on is emojis. And this was hard. This was hard for me, harder than the winners and losers, because I just went with smiling face with a tear because I'm happy that Calum got a point. I'm happy that we got a point. I'm happy that we weren't mauled by Man City. But then I'm sad of what everything else that this circus of a club has happened in the last couple of years. So I was like, yeah. What have you got?
I've gone for Salute again. I think I used that the other week, but I've gone for Salute just because Reece James.
Oh, fair play. Fair play.
I've gone with the middle finger because it was absolutely hilarious to see all the Maresca lovers scrambling to try and find a narrative that it was a bad point.
I don't think you can ever have a bad point unless you're like playing Wolves.
No, you can, mate. We've
okay.
Absolutely scammed a point there. Maresca would have won the game. Maresca would have won the game. Maresca would have lost the game 3-0 is what he would have done.
Right, let's look at our Lion picks. Ooh, fuck.
I think I've won it.
Mate, no, you ain't. No one's won. The wheel went Tosin. I went Sanchez. Chris went Palmer. Berth, you went Fofana.
Oh, I thought I went Reece James.
No.
Maybe not.
I mean, most of them didn't play.
No. Well, no. Well, Fofana definitely no. No one wins from that. Who was the man of the match?
Can I just say though, just before we do this?
Yeah.
Although he's absolutely shit when he plays, I think Tosin deserves some credit as well because McFarlane spoke very highly about how Tosin had helped pull the group together over the last couple of days since Maresca left. It was Reece, Enzo and Tosin was the three players he mentioned in terms of really leading the dressing room. And I think Tosin deserves credit for that because he's got a lot of flack this season for being poor and rightly so. But that does show that he is adding some value to the squad, even if it's not on the pitch.
True.
Yeah.
What are we going? Oh no, I haven't done the preview. What am I talking about?
Reece James was the actual man of the match.
Reece James, yeah.
Yeah, I'll whack him onto the list. There he's on. So, of course, match preview time. We are having a quiet one. Fulham, and onto Fulham we go in the Premier League, and they are currently in 11th in the Premier League. 8 wins, 4 draws, 8 defeats. Recent form is 3 wins, 2 draws. Spotlight, you know what? I'm going to give Harry Wilson his shout because he just seems to randomly show up with a worldie every now and then. Not a goal. Come on, behave. So just keep your eyes on the ground on Wilson because he might do it again. And the last time that Chelsea were beaten by Fulham at Craven Cottage was on the 12th of January 2023. And of course, it wouldn't be a preview if I didn't tell you what the UK number 1 was on that date. It was Escapism by Ray the 070 Shake. So let's see if we can escape Craven Cottage with more than a point, because you can get a bad point. Maresca would have got all 3 in this.
Yeah.
Who are we picking for Lions in this?
I'm going to go with... I'll go with Enzo Fernandez.
Enzo.
Nice. I'm going to go a little bit rogue here. I'm going to go Liam Delap.
I was tempted by Delap, I was tempted by Delap.
It's hard because we don't know who's going to be in charge.
It's McFarlane.
Well, he's doing the presser, isn't he?
It's believed to be McFarlane. Oh, the wheel has gone Liam Delap.
Then.
Wow.
Oh, yes, me and the wheel, get it.
Yeah, you might have cooked here. I'm going to go safe after a few rogue weeks. I'll go with Reece. I'm playing safe. I'm not going crazy.
Yes.
Blue versus who? Let's get the questions. I've got last time Chelsea lost at Craven Cottage was the 12th of Jan. I've just said 2023. But which former Blue opened the scoring for Fulham?
I know exactly who it is, and it's Willian.
It is indeed. It is
oh
Mr.
My God,
Willian.
yeah, I remember that.
Second question. In that same game, who became the first player to be sent off on his Premier League debut since Tottenham Hotspur's Federico Fazio at Man City on the 18th of October 2014?
João Felix.
João Felix, yes. And finally, just put these former players, former Blues, in order when they first joined Chelsea, because we're reversing it, because we're reverse fixtures now. So we've got Willian, we've got Scotty P, we've got Lucas Piazzon, Armando Broja, and Steve Sidwell.
Is that when they joined Chelsea? Sorry,
when they joined good old Chelsea Football Club.
Who was the one before Sidwell?
It was Armando Broja.
And who was? So you got Sidwell, Willian, Broja, Parker,
Scotty P,
and Piazzon.
Scott Parker's got to be one of the first.
2003.
Yeah.
January.
Then Sidwell.
Sidwell's 07.
Yep. Free transfer from Reading.
William was 12, 13. Who was he next? Do you think he's next?
I don't know.
Piazzon might have been.
Wasn't Piazzon like 09, 10, that sort of era? Like the Ancelotti era? Or was it just after? I can't remember.
No, well, you know what? We'll go Piazzon first.
2012.
Then Willian.
Then
2013.
And then Broja.
2018. Nicely done, team. Nicely done. And of course, I now go to Quaresma's questions. So I pull out my phone, go to my photos where I've screen grabbed it. Let's have a look what we got. Sarah, good question. Didn't think about this one actually. Good one. Glad you asked. Cat Mac, not in the warm weather training. Thoughts? Rodman incoming. I'm all for Rodman incoming. Love that. And there is that rumor that that Cat Mac might go back to the NWSL.
Yeah, I'll be shocked if she stays. Actually,
really, you really think it's?
Yeah, I do. I think you've seen her minutes dwindle, and there's been a few times where she hasn't been around or involved in things, and I think it's one of them where it's a relationship that's come to an end. I think
it'd be a shame because what a player, but yeah,
it hasn't really hit the heights we expected her to, though, has she? Let's be fair.
No, when you sign a Champions League winning player, you kind of you expect that next level.
Yeah, and it hasn't quite been that.
And to be fair, I don't know what I said, but I mean, she played obviously American soccer when she was at Stanford Cardinal, but like that was her college days, but obviously she's never played in the NWSL, so it'd be interesting. I mean, could do a swap deal with, for Rodman.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I would be sad to see her go. It's difficult. It is difficult.
No, I would be, but not if Rodman comes in place of.
No, I mean, if we can get a deal done with the Washington Spirit, I bloody love it. I just, who knows? I mean, they've got that new rule now, which is essentially the Trinity Rodman rule.
Yeah.
So, be interesting if they use it on Trinity Rodman. It really does. Let's have a look. Another good question. We have. Ooh. Nino, I like it. What do you think? Not the best performance, but the players looked less constrained against City. What do we think?
I'd agree. I won't say they look less constrained. I think they just played to a style that suited the individuals. So, like, Gusto was an out-and-out right back. Delap comes on and just runs the channels, holds the ball up. And Enzo gets pushed forward. I think it was more natural for a lot of players in the team. So yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, what I would say as well is that we've seen performances like this from these players in these games under Maresca as well, because we're a squad built for counter-attack. We just never play it. But then when we play a team who forces us to not have the ball, we're forced to play on the counter-attack and we look better. I think that's why we always look better in big games under Maresca. We didn't dominate the ball. We played on the counter. And this squad is built for counter-attack. That's why we looked better under Poch. It was literally built for counter-attacking. We've built a whole squad around fast players who like the ball in behind, and then we play everything in front of them, and it makes no sense.
Yeah. Be interesting to see how we play against Fulham, because they're definitely not Man City.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, it's my favourite game.
You a fan? Oh, I'm partial. No. I just meant that you're a fan of the flag. Oh, sorry.
Don't clip that. That is not my favourite game, eating arse. I don't enjoy it. I want to make that very clear.
Are you partial to it though, Mike?
I'm a fan of the flag. Wrapping up today's show with Sidwell's stamp collection. I've got a name of a player and I'll just tell you how many clubs they played for. You just go with there, the betting in. So today's theme, which was meant to be like last time, but hey, it doesn't matter, was you want Christmas off? Because every player today was accused of deliberately missing Boxing Day fixtures by picking up a suspension. So the first player I've got is Ray Parlour. 4 clubs he's played for. 4 football clubs.
All 4.
Fuck. Wow. Okay. Berth?
I mean, I could probably name 3. I don't know about all 4.
I think Chris is confident here, so...
Yeah, go on, Chris.
Chris name.
Sorry. Arsenal.
He definitely played there.
Yeah, he did, yeah. Hull.
Yes.
Middlesbrough.
Yeah, that's 3.
And then didn't he go to someone called Wembley?
Oh, my word. He's nailed all 4. Wow, that is outstanding. I did not think you'd get Wembley.
No, do you know what?
It was actually Wembley FC, if you're going to be like...
Oh, well.
It was, do you know, it was a thing that they told us when I went on a stadium tour of Wembley.
Oh, right.
I don't know why they told us that, but...
Because they wanted you to win this quiz.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And talking of winning, I mean, this guy, I don't know, he does a lot of winning. He also does a lot of fighting. And I've got Lee Bowyer, 6 clubs. 6 clubs.
Lee Bowyer, I reckon.
Good job, Ollie's not here. He'd not have a hope in any of these.
I reckon I can name all 6 of them.
Wow,
he wasn't
okay.
born, was he?
No. Well, he started his career in 1994, so...
Yeah, well, I can't do any better than all of them. So,
Berth, come on.
Go, Berth.
6 clubs, please.
Charlton.
Yeah, 94 to 96.
Leeds.
96 to 2003.
West Ham.
2003, 2006 to 2009.
Newcastle.
2003 to 2006.
Birmingham City Football Club.
2009 on loan, 2009 to 2011 permanently.
And Ipswich.
2011 to 2012, an absolute barn burner of a full house there.
Technically Ipswich Town, but...
Well,
No, not playing at the moment, Chris.
I would have accepted
not,
the
mate.
Tractor Boys as well.
We're friends now anyway, so
We are
we're not
friends.
Yeah,
arguing
that's
anymore.
true.
We are friends.
And the final player being accused of picking up bookings to be suspended for Christmas is Kevin Nolan. Kevin Nolan.
Yeah, he
Clubs.
picked up a fair few, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
5 clubs. Chris, you're back on.
Five.
5 clubs he played for.
No, I can do 4.
Okay. Berth, can you do 5? Can you do 5?
Maybe 5, but I don't know if he ever played for this club, but he was there, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I'm not going to give a clue away. Do you want to go for 5?
Yeah, go on, we'll go for it.
Can we get the first ever full house on all 3? Go for your 5 clubs, please.
Bolton,
99 to 2009,
Newcastle,
09 to 11,
West Ham,
11 to 15,
Leyton Orient,
2016,
and the one I'm not sure about, is it Notts County? I'm sure he's at Notts County.
2017 to 2018. That is
Did he manage them? He managed them,
he was
didn't
player manager, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's what it was.
absolute full house through all 3. That is outstanding. That is absolutely outstanding. That was an incredible
Full knowledge
performance.
here. Full
Honestly,
knowledge.
that was really. That was a deserved 2-1 victory for you, Berth. And you've been on. You've got your Reece James era now. You've been on a fair few episodes now.
I'm leading by example. 2026 is my year for this podcast.
That is what we like to see. And you know what, listeners, we're at the end of another episode. So thank you for tuning in. Before we go, don't forget, proudly part of Head in the Game, mental health charity in football, sport, wellbeing, and community. You can find more at headinthegame.co.uk. Treat yourself well. We'll be back probably Thursday to talk Chelsea and Fulham. So until next time, that'll be us. Signing off.
You've been listening to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At the Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.